Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Trina Harlow from Kansas State University and a member of NAEA and involved with NAEA in a variety of ways, including just coming on board after finishing 2 years as president-elect. I'll be serving as the president of the Public Policy and Arts Administration group. I woke up on the morning of March 11th with a resolve that art teachers needed some support to get through this period of social distancing caused by COVID-19 and created a Facebook group called Online Teachers K-12. And never in my wildest dreams could I have imagined that this group would have become the resource that it has. I had a hunch that we needed this support for each other, but we now have almost 5,500 members and 30,000 posts, all sharing ideas for curriculum and all kinds of resources. So let me just show you a little bit about the group. As I said, it was formed on March 11th. It was formed to be a service project of art teacher to art teacher. No one is profiting financially from this. It is a service project. 6 other group administrators joined the effort. Bob Rieger from Nebraska, Randy Robart from Ohio, Beth Doberstein from Wisconsin, Kate Miller from Kansas, Marie Taylor from Kansas, and Sarah Kress Ackerman from Illinois. I've already mentioned we have over 5,500 members from more than 20 countries and all 50 states and over 30,000 posts. We have a Google folder, a newsletter. We're planning a digital conference on April 2nd on Facebook Live. We're now organizing Instagram, Twitter, and linking those to our Facebook group. The group is for no-tech, low-tech, and high-tech instruction. Don't let the name Online Art Teachers fool you. That name does not imply e-learning. That name implies that we are now using whatever digital means possible to communicate with our students and to deliver some kind of instruction to them as a form of communication. We know that some schools have one-to-one iPads or Chromebooks, and we're already set up with the internet in homes. I think that's a very small percentage of schools. Most of the schools we're hearing from are really struggling to provide resources for their students because technology is not available at home, and it's certainly not to all students. So we like to say we're teaching and providing instruction for home-centered learners with no-tech, low-tech, and high-tech choices that we give students. I addressed copyright in the first video I made on March 11th, and I just essentially said this Facebook group is a service project and teachers shouldn't put anything on here that they don't want other teachers to use. And that choice was up to the teachers sharing things. I also asked the group members not to publish anything that they draw on from this group as if they had written it. And so make sure you pay attention to the copyright rules. To me, that's kind of a trivial conversation to have right now with people literally dying all over the world because of this virus and our government taking steps like seem like a science fiction movie to prepare for it. So I think that we all need to be careful about getting too focused on copyright right now, but certainly don't publish something if it's not yours. We hope this is a tremendous resource for you now, and in fact, we know it is because of the many posts and thank yous we're hearing from art teachers, not just in the United States, but all over the world. And we hope this will be a resource for you now, but also in the future. Together, we art better, and join us on the journey. I want to just show you around the Facebook group just a little bit. So this is a screenshot of the Facebook group homepage. When you open it on the computer, this is what you see, and at the top you see announcements. And click on that and you will see some important announcements from us, our newsletters, some posts our administrators made to humanize this effort. If you come over here, you'll see About. Click on that and you'll see a basic description of the group. Come over here and you will see topic tabs. topics. We're filing posts by topics. Be sure and notice the gold category topic and the choice boards, and post from me if you would. All the tabs are very worthwhile for you, but make sure you see those because there's some really amazing things happening in those tabs. Also, we have an email address, onlineartteachers@gmail.com, and we have a Google folder. Let me say that in the beginning, we saw the Google folder as more important. We're having some issues with the Google folder, which I'm not going to go into here now. It's because we're giving so many people access to it, and I think really not everyone knows how to use it, and so we're kind of having some issues with that. But really what happened is the Facebook page just took over everything. I want to show you right here where it says Files. If you click on that, you can write a post and you can upload a PDF document to share with other teachers. So that's a really good thing to know. Also, don't worry about other teachers being able to make changes to your document. They're teachers. They can make their own document and use yours for an idea. Or if you upload a PDF and it's not personalized for you, we know that you don't mind if they use it. So thanks so much for joining the service project. If you're on the cell phone, this is what you're going to see. And I just want to point out a few things to you. So announcements will be right under the header bar. And then topics will be right under announcements. And then to get to about, which is a little tricky from the cell phone, you will see a tiny little arrow right here. See this arrow? Click on that and you see about, and click see more, and you will see a description of the group and a couple of links there as well. We also have a Facebook Live conference coming up on April 2nd, and this is a description of our conference. We're calling it Collaborating and Chatting. Our 6 administrators that are all national or state leaders are joining us for this effort. And we also have a second-year teacher, Marie Taylor, who's joining us. She's an NAEA member. And then here's a schedule. This will be on Facebook Live. All you have to do is click on Facebook Live that day, April 2nd, and it begins at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. We also have some newsletters we've been producing. Here is the first one, and it's essentially, there's much more to the newsletter than this. It's 10 pages. It's an article that I wrote to help teachers get going. I wrote it the morning of March 12th, shared it all over social media. I went all over. I went to every NAEA special interest group I'm a member of, shared it on their pages, shared it on my own social media, copied and hashtagged everyone, and really got this out all over social media. This article is about giving choices to students, because what I saw were a lot of teachers just jumping to, oh, I have to do e-learning, I have to do online instruction. And I heard a voice in my head saying, no, no, no. And essentially that was correct, because you can only do e-learning or online instruction for your students if your students have access to technology in their homes. So there are some teachers, as I said earlier, that can do that. We also have a wonderful newsletter here from Sarah Kress Ackerman, who goes over just the important aspects of setting up online practice. And it's a fabulous newsletter, so be sure and read that as well. We do have some other resources. I must admit, we're just getting them up and going. We have our Instagram page, our Twitter page, we have the Google folder, and one of our administrators is linking Instagram and Twitter so that it connects with our Facebook page, which connects with our Facebook group. You know, that web that happens out on the internet. So there's some things getting ready to happen there. And just as we get started, and really some important points I think to remember are, number one, humanize your instruction. That's why this video is up here, and I'm not just a talking slideshow. Put your photos on things, humanize it. Remember that parents are not teachers. I shared a post from Dr. Susan Yelich-Benecki from Kansas State University, who has a PhD in education, and reminded all of us that she is not a middle school physics teacher. And she went into great detail. That post is on our Facebook group page. So take a look at that. Let's don't add to the stress that is happening in homes. We don't want to do that. And we know there is stress. We know that parents are struggling with their own work, and multiple people are trying to work from home. I've had some experience with that today. I've let my family who's here in the house with me know I'm making a video and I need them to be very quiet. And the next thing I hear is the ice machine. And the next thing I hear is the people mowing the lawn next door. And it was very loud for a while. And this is my open window to make this video. So there's some little stressors like that from working at home. But we all really know the larger stressor from working at home is this drastic change we've all had to make in our lives to keep our families safe. Please remember, the key is choices. I feel like a broken record. I've been saying that everywhere loudly and clearly since March 11th. I don't think this is the time for rigorous instruction where it's one size fits all, where a class gets one assignment. I think choices is the best way you can go. And the reason I feel that way is, let's let the students who have access to the internet in their homes, let's let them go on a tour of the Louvre or the Met Museum, or do some of the really amazing things you can do with art online. But let's look out for those students with no technology at home, and let's provide them an art experience during this time that will mean a lot to them, that uses things that are from around the house and practical things that they can do. And low tech, I'm including cell phones with that, because in this day and age, just about everybody has a cell phone. And that doesn't really matter if you're from a high SES area or a low SES area. So cell phones are a great way to partner students as buddies, so they can communicate and maybe will help break up some of the loneliness they might feel. Practice self-care. That's going to be really important for you as a teacher, because getting all this going is stressful. And if you watch the news, things are so fluid and changing daily. I heard the president say yesterday that Easter weekend, we might all just go back to work and things will be as normal. But if you watch the numbers and what's happening, I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think they want to keep us hopeful, and I think that's a good idea. It's just such a fluid situation, we don't know. So practice self-care. Start that art journal for COVID-19 that I'll be mentioning in a minute, and do some artwork that you want to do, and just really take care of yourself during this time period. I think some of us feel like we're working more from home than we have been in our brick and mortar buildings. So the difference is we're alone, or we're having virtual meetings with other teachers and team members and various people. So take care of yourself. Be safe and healthy. And I want to remind you all, this is a time to practice altruism. Altruism means we're selfless and we care more about others than ourselves. And teach your students to care about others. Caring about others is really what makes, I think, life much better. And I've already said this, but I want you to remember, no one is profiting from this group. This is a service project. And it's become almost a full-time job for the 7 of us administrating it. And we all are teachers on top of that. So I just want you to remember that no one's profiting from this. It is a service project for you. And we're glad you're joining us on the journey. I like this quote from Neil Gaiman. It says, "The world always seems brighter when you just made something that wasn't there before." What I'd like to close by saying is, if you haven't taken some time with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine to sit and read all of those posts on that Facebook group page, you should do it. It will really endear your fellow art teachers to you. It is honestly amazing. The thank yous that have been said in posts are amazing. And we're all helping each other. That's the thing to remember. And I do think the world seems a little brighter for art teachers because we have made something that wasn't there before. And I'm pretty sure it's something that's going to be around for a long time, just in case. Hopefully this never happens, that we all get to deal with something like this again. We hope that COVID-19 exits as fast as it showed up on the earth. Please take care and be safe and healthy. And we look forward to seeing the results of some of your students' artwork and your own art making during this time period.